Hello everyone, I'm Pachino and welcome to MEDIGO Round. MEDIGO Round is a show where I would take you on a fun-filled and entertaining journey, knowing, understanding and learning medical facts based on latest research. Today's topic is going to be definitely interesting for most of us, and I would say teenagers as well as parents. Now this is definitely a concern and definitely alarming. Researchers have found that teenagers who play violent video games tend to eat more, cheat more, and are more aggressive and have less self-control. Latest studies have proved it. Now, it is clearly visible in teenagers who play violent video games. Now, when I was a teenager myself, I used to play a lot of violent video games, and I can name a few which are my personal favorites: Assassin's Creed, Grand Theft Auto. And I used to play them so much that I used to be so engrossed in it, and my aggression level increased. And whenever I'm busy playing, I used to munch on chocolates, and I have this tendency to live a life the way the violent video games are designed. Now that's natural. Now when I went through the article and I understood that these researchers are found to be true, it is very clear. Now let's compare kids who play violent video games and kids who play non-violent video games. Now when I say non-violent video games, I'm referring to paintball 3D, mini golf. These are less aggressive, and they are less aggressive kids who play such kind of games. Now, researchers have also proved that kids who play violent video games have a tendency to steal a raffle ticket. The effects were highest in teens who scored a high on a measure of moral disengagement, the ability to convince oneself that certain ethical standards do not apply to you in a certain situation. They conducted the study on 172 Italian high school students aged between 13 and 19, and they played either a violent video game or non-violent video game, and they played it for 35 minutes after practicing for 10 minutes. And the results showed that these teens ate more than 3 times as much candy as did the other teens who played non-violent video games. They simply showed less restraint in their eating. Teens who played a violent video game cheated 8 times more than those who played a non-violent video game. And also, those who play violent video games act more aggressively. Now that we've seen the two sides of the coin, the good and the bad, especially the bad side of playing a violent video game, it is completely in your hands whether to decide to go with a violent video game or a non-violent video game. Next, we're going to discuss something very interesting to a lot of us, and we're going to uncover the biggest question ever asked: who burns more calories during sex, men or women? In order to research on this interesting topic, researchers from the University of Quebec in Montreal tracked down 21 heterosexual couples aged between 18 and 35 to perform the research. Energy expenditure during a sexual activity and the endurance exercise was also measured using the portable mini SenseWear armband. Energy expenditure, effort, fatigue, pleasure was also assessed after the sexual activity. All participants completed a 30 minutes endurance exercise session on a treadmill at a moderate intensity. The couples were equipped with a fitness tracker like SenseWear and had to undergo a 30-minute jog on a treadmill to get a basic baseline of their calorie expenditure. And after this, they were sent home to have sex with their sensors on. Study finds men burn up to 101 calories during sex compared to just 69 calories for women. And it seems the reason for the difference is that, in most cases, guys are doing a lot more of the work, the Daily Star reported. The findings shatter the long-held urban myth that you use up 300 calories during sex and that there is no difference between men and women. Now that studies have proved that men burn more calories, we can definitely be proud of it. Now, not to forget, women also burn enough and more calories, but not as much as men do. At the end of the day, men and women burn calories while we have sex. And to be precise, burning calories keeps you fit and in shape. At the end of it, it's very simple. Make love and not bore. Next, we move on to something that is very, very important these days, and that is to stay fit. Now, how do you stay fit? You follow a strict diet. Now, if you look out, there are hundreds and millions of diets that people follow. Some of them allow you to lose weight, and some of them helps you put on weight, and the rest of them lower your cholesterol, have a happy life forever and ever by following a strict diet. Now, several diets are there. For example, if you look at the Mediterranean diet, it reflects the culinary lifestyle of Southern European people. Now that I said there are millions of diets that are available for each and everyone to follow, the best way to explain what a diet is very simple. Diet describes a set course of eating and drinking in which the amount and the kind is preset, which one should follow to attain weight loss or a certain lifestyle. Of the several diets that are available, there are 8 popular diets. The 8 popular diets are the Atkins diet, Zone diet, vegetarian diet, vegan diet, Weight Watchers diet, South Beach diet, raw food diet, and the Mediterranean diet. Let's go with the first one, and that's Atkins diet. The Atkins diet focuses on controlling the levels of insulin in your bodies through diet. Now when we move on to the Zone diet, the Zone diet aims for a nutritional balance of 40% carbohydrates, 30% fats, and 30% protein each time we eat. The focus is also on controlling insulin levels, which result in more successful weight loss and body weight control. The Zone diet encourages the consumption of olive oil, avocado, and nuts. Moving on to the vegetarian diet, there are various types of vegetarian: lacto-vegetarian, fruitarian vegetarian, lacto-ovo-vegetarian, living food diet vegetarian, ovo-vegetarian, pesco-vegetarian, and semi-vegetarian. Vegan diet. A vegan does not eat anything that is animal-based, including eggs, dairy, and honey. We move on to Weight Watchers diet. Weight Watchers focuses on losing weight through diet, exercise, and a support network. Raw food diet. The raw food diet, or raw foodism, involves consuming foods and drinks which are not processed, are completely plant-based, and ideally organic. There are 4 main types of raw foodists: raw vegetarians, raw vegans, raw omnivores, and raw carnivores. The Mediterranean diet. The emphasis is on lots of plant foods, fresh fruits as dessert, beans, nuts, cereals, olive oil as the main source of dietary fats, cheese, and yogurts are the main dairy foods. Moderate amounts of fish and poultry, up to about 4 eggs per week, small amounts of red meat, and low moderate amounts of wine. Here I am with another bit of bad news for few of you out there. And when I say few, I'm talking about the ladies who do night shifts. And there is a reason why I say it's bad news. Studies have proved that women who do night shifts has reduced fertility rate compared to women who do normal hours. And this is proved on the new analysis done on the data of the effect of shift work on health. It is completely up to our women to decide how do we choose our working culture, our working hours, and to think wise and create a better generation and a better future for our generations to come. Moving away from the concerns that we were seeing all this while and things that were alarming, we're moving on to something that's a little bit different. How many of you have pets? Now, I do have, and I see most of my crew over here lifting their hands. It's interesting, everybody loves pets. Now let's take our vision to a different angle, completely different perspective. First, let's look at a different line. Now, I have a cat, and most of you, I believe, will have a pet, which is a cat. Now, for us, we are more likely to be the feline's parent. Now, I would call myself as parent because I feed my cat, I snuggle with him, and there are times that I even talk to him. Now, it sounds strange, I know, but yeah, I know most of you do because it's one way to communicate with your pet and get that closeness and have that comfort zone with your pet. Now, how are things when you do all this to your cat? How does the cat look at all these things? It's a total different ballgame. For a cat, in his viewpoint, you're just a larger, non-hostile cat. And why would I say that? Definitely based on studies. I would take you through some interesting facts which would give you an insight of how a cat behaves or how a cat thinks with the way we react towards it. According to Dr. John Bradshaw's new book, Cat Sense, your feline friend likely thinks of you not as a parent, but as a larger non-hostile cat. The starting point of his analysis is that cats are basically still wild animals. Cats' interactions with us are driven by instinct more than learned behaviors. When your cat needs your lap or another surface, it's a behavior meant for a mother's belly that keeps milk flowing. When your cat greets you with an upright tail, this is a friendly sign reserved for greeting a non-hostile cat. So while you may think of yourself as your cat's parent, He sees you more like a large, friendly feline who's generous enough to share the canned food. I just can't stop laughing at myself because I have a cat, as I was telling earlier. And when I think how my cat looks at me, I'm definitely this huge guy sitting with full of fur and long mush and those ears. Definitely funny. But it doesn't matter how the cat looks at you. My perspective and what I want my viewers to do is, irrespective of what the cat feels, I want you to continue doing what you do at your best. Feed them, snuggle with them, talk to them. End of the day, they're animals and we need to love them. With this, we come to an exciting end to the MEDIGO round for this week. Until we meet next time, this is Pachino signing off. Thank you.